Hi there. Check out this clip taken from my latest conversation with Deb Fillman on the Engineering Politics podcast number 36 titled Institutional Corruption. You can get the full episode on my YouTube channel, or even better yet, by subscribing to my Locals community at engineeringpolitics.locals.com. And while you're on Locals subscribing to all of these wonderful creators, make sure to support and join Deb's community at thereasonwelearn.locals.com. All right, let's get to it. Cue the music.
It's so frustrating because as a person who cares about education, I refuse anymore to call myself an educator because that word now has such a negative connotation. People have bastardized that word just like every other word that used to have meaning and value. But as a person who's very concerned with education, it makes me so angry because it's just like we were told back when we were kids, you know, if you don't learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And these people are absolutely ignorant. You know, they talk about the whitewashing of history. And James Lindsay said, no, it's actually been redwashed. Because they didn't teach anybody about communism, like the dark side. Now, when I was a kid, we were taught about it because, you know, the Cold War. I kind of missed the Cold War because we learned communism bad. Commie's bad. We all thought that. Even Democrats were like, commie's bad, you know? And now you see people walking around Che Guevara shirts, and that's like the least of it. You know, they actively want, you know, I'm a Marxist and I'm very proud of it. And they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. No idea.
The fact that we don't look at the hammer and sickle the same way we look at the swastikas is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so they don't know that. And the other thing that has been washed, has been just like sanitized, is the Democrat washed history.
Yeah.
They've Democrat watched history, and they've actually taken history of the Republican Party and
the big flip. Which is the silliest thing I've ever heard. And I have no idea how people buy into that. The fact that people think that the marketing groups of each political party came together and like, we should switch names. And, you know, let's try this out. You know, we've tested some focus groups and we're like, yeah, we're just going to switch names now. And people's buy into that is silly. But there's a large ignorance, especially of something like economics. I mean, economics, if you study, I mean, there's that saying, follow the money, right? And if you follow the money throughout history, you kind of understand the influences on major changes. So I think you and I have talked about a little bit in the past of free market economics influence on ending slavery. Like slavery, that was one of the main influences of ending slavery, and people think it's the exact opposite. I think the capitalists are the ones who wanted to keep the slaves. No, they wrote very openly in newspapers about how much they hated capitalism because it's going to equalize the two races. So, you know, people, if they would actually learn their history, some historical economics, they would understand that no, it's what freed the most people in the world is the idea of free markets. And that's the reason, I mean, I hate to use the word capitalism because capitalism is not an ism at all. It's a description of behavior. You know, it's descriptive, not prescriptive. And if people would understand that, I think they would start to use it a bit differently, and at least think about their actions in the market, you know, more responsibly, rather than trying to say, all right, daddy government, you do this for me. I don't want to worry about healthcare. You give it to me for free.
Exactly.